Do you ever wonder why some people remain trapped in poverty while others seem to grow wealthier? It's a stark reality. 80% of the world's wealth is often held by just 20% of its population. As of recent estimates, over 1 billion people still live below the poverty line, surviving on less than $1.25 a day, a figure adjusted from outdated data to reflect current global standards. Today, we're diving into a book that unravels the complexities of poverty. Poor Economics by Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo, not Ben Affleck as previously misstated. This groundbreaking work, which earned the authors the 2019 Nobel Prize in Economics, explores why poverty persists and what keeps people stuck in its grip. Through years of research, Banerjee and Duflo reveal surprising patterns in the behavior of the poor, offering insights that challenge our assumptions. Why, for instance, do some families struggling to eat still buy TVs? Why do others prioritize alcohol over necessities? And why, in impoverished households, do children often resist education, even when offered financial incentives to attend school? These questions lie at the heart of Poor Economics, which examines poverty through the lenses of education, healthcare, and daily decision-making. The poverty trap. What is it? The book introduces the concept of the poverty trap, a cycle where being poor makes it harder to escape poverty. Consider a real-life experiment. A wealthy Hong Kong businessman decided to start from scratch, with no access to his fortune, to prove anyone could climb the social ladder. He banned himself from using credit cards or family money, relying solely on his own efforts. Within months, he was defeated. In a city where low wages barely cover survival, investing in education or a business felt impossible. This story illustrates a brutal truth. Poverty itself can suffocate opportunity. When unexpected crises hit, like illness or job loss, families with little savings spiral deeper into hardship. The book asks, why do the poor stay poor while the rich get richer? It's not just about money, it's about mindset, choices, and systemic barriers. Why do the poor make irrational choices? Let's look at a striking example from the book. In a remote Moroccan village, a man named Oucham Barbak was asked what he'd do with more money. His answer? Buy more food. Yet his home already had a TV, a satellite dish, and a DVD player. When asked why he prioritized these over food, he smiled and said, "The TV is more important than food." This isn't unique. Banerjee and Duflo found that many poor households spend on non-essentials, like tea, sugar, or entertainment, rather than nutritious food. Why? Because life in poverty is relentless, and small pleasures like a TV show or a sweet drink offer fleeting relief from despair. Unlike the wealthy, who might invest in long-term gains, the poor often seek instant comfort to cope with daily stress. This pattern extends to other areas. In some cultures, families spend heavily on weddings, dowries, or funerals to maintain social status, even at the cost of their financial stability. In India, for example, dowry pressures have driven some to desperate measures, while in parts of Africa, funeral costs can consume 40% of a family's annual income. These choices aren't frivolous. They're rooted in social expectations and the fear of losing face. Health and ignorance. A deadly mix. Health is another area where poverty distorts decisions. Every year, millions of children die before age 5, many from preventable diseases like diarrhea. A simple 18-cent water purifier could save lives, yet many families in regions like sub-Saharan Africa don't use them, relying instead on contaminated water. Why? Some distrust cheap or free solutions, believing only expensive treatments, like antibiotics or surgery, are effective. In India, investigations revealed that many doctors treating the poor lack proper credentials, yet families trust them over public hospitals. Similarly, Affordable measures like mosquito nets or vaccines are often ignored until illness becomes severe, when treatment costs skyrocket. The issue isn't just access, it's a lack of trust and understanding, compounded by the psychological barrier of investing in prevention rather than cure. Education, a broken ladder. Education is often hailed as the key to escaping poverty, but the reality is messier. In some countries, governments offer cash incentives, $5 or $10 a month to keep kids in school. Yet, many parents still don't send their children. Why? For one, the immediate costs, books, uniforms, or lost labor from a child who could work, feel heavier than future rewards. Plus, in areas with underfunded public schools, where teachers are often absent, parents see little value in education. Then, there's the issue of family size. Poorer households tend to have more children, not because of ignorance about contraception, but as a form of economic planning. In many cultures, children, especially sons, are seen as future providers. Without robust social safety nets like pensions or health care, parents rely on large families for security in old age. This, however, stretches resources thin, making it harder to invest in each child's education. Risk and resilience. Why the poor struggle? Finally, the poor face constant economic risks, but lack the tools to cope. Unlike the wealthy, who have savings, networks, and information, the poor often resort to working multiple low-skilled jobs to survive. This hustle leaves little time or energy to master a trade or build a stable career. Frequent moves in search of work also disrupt social ties, isolating them further. When the poor do start businesses, they're often small-scale, like a roadside stall, because anything bigger feels too risky. Without access to capital or markets, these ventures rarely grow, trapping owners in a cycle of subsistence. Breaking the cycle. Lessons from poor economics. So, what does poor economics teach us? Here are the key takeaways. Poverty is inherited. Parents' circumstances, education, networks, and mindset shape their children's futures, passing down disadvantages like a genetic code. Seeking instant gratification. The poor often prioritize short-term pleasures, like entertainment or tasty food, over long-term investments, mirroring our own struggles with discipline. Short-term thinking. Without confidence in the future, the poor focus on immediate survival, not long-term plans, which limits their ability to save or invest. Lack of learning. Limited access to knowledge creates a vicious cycle where ignorance reinforces poverty and poverty stifles curiosity. Escaping poverty requires more than hard work. It demands wisdom, access to reliable information, and systems that support health, education, and economic stability. For those of us not in poverty, the book challenges us to rethink our own habits. Are we investing in our health? Are we planning for the long term? Or are we too chasing instant gratification? Join the journey with RISEUP Book. Poor Economics isn't just a book, it's a wake-up call to understand poverty's roots and take control of our own lives. Whether you're fighting to break free from hardship or simply want to live more intentionally, these insights can guide you toward a richer life, not just in wealth, but in health, mindset, and purpose. Want to explore more ideas that inspire growth and change? Subscribe to RISEUP Book for thought-provoking content that helps you rise above challenges and build a thriving future. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's one lesson from this book you'd apply to your life? Let's start the conversation.